Oxfam is a global movement of people working with others to overcome poverty and suffering. The organisation started in Great Britain in 1942 as the Oxford Committee for Famine Relief, a name which was later shortened to Oxfam.
There are currently 5,073 employees working at Oxfam, approximately 850,000 donors, 22,000 volunteers and 85,000 campaigners in Great Britain. Oxfam is located in Oxford, London, Bristol, Cardiff, Birmingham, Newcastle, Manchester and Glasgow.
What do? They deliver aid, support and protection and help communities develop the capacity to cope with future crises. They fund long-term work to fight poverty so that poor people can take control and rely on themselves. They put pressure on world leaders to cancel poor countries' debts and increase foreign aid to help people get good health services, schools and colleges. They convince leaders to cancel debts of 42 countries and give an extra £50 billion in aid by 2010, of which half of it went to Africa.
What are the political, economical and technological factors that affect Oxfam?
Well, the most important factors that affect Oxfam is the political factors. In relation to National Minimum Wage Act of 1998, Oxfam need to consider their workforce. Since Oxfam is a charity, most of the workers are volunteers, so they save money with the organisation there, from which they can donate to the poverty. The economical factors that affect Oxfam are the pay levels and the disposable incomes. Oxfam need to keep their costs low in order to be able to raise money to overcome poverty and suffering, because most of their staff are volunteers. They're able to save money from not paying them. The technological factors that affect Oxfam are the use of the internet and TV.
Managers are paid for the contribution, which affects the objectives, as they could use the money to contribute towards overcoming global poverty. The rise in disposable incomes has made it easier for charities to survive, but 81% of people living below the poverty line said that they spend more of their weekly disposable income on food shopping. TV and the internet have a huge impact on Oxfam, as they play the main role in attracting donations for the organisation.
What threats do Oxfam face from new entrances?
Over the past 7 years, there have been many new entrances into the charity market, mainly small companies participating in doorstop collection, where Oxfam gets most of its revenue from. Although Oxfam has many collaborations with major companies, these small companies are sourcing the goods under false pretences.
The strength, weakness, opportunity and threat that Oxfam face.
Strange is that it is a large and well-known organization around the world, specifically as an international union, so that means their influence is very widespread. Weaknesses they face is that as they are working in 90 countries as non-profit organizations, they must constantly use their scarce resources to maximum potential, creating a lot of strain on the organization as a whole. As Oxfam is charity organization, it creates opportunities, for example, government invoices and tax rebate. Threat, again, economic crisis and the slow growth of the economy cuts companies' profits as well as high net worth. Individuals are less confident to contribute to any charity type of organizations, as there is downward in the market.
What challenges do Oxfam face?
The key global challenge Oxfam faces is responding to the new reality, as the World Economic Forum has recognised, which means that Oxfam must ensure they provide food for all and find equal patterns of human development. The challenges of climate change and growing global population is already a serious problem for Oxfam due to the increasing threat of land and water shortages. We are heading into an era where the resources we have are limited. So another challenge that Oxfam will be facing is the rise of food prices. Oxfam have predicted half of the rise to come will be caused by climate change. This is where the need for investment in a global fund and improved regulations of food markets need to be put in place by world leaders. So in order for Oxfam to overcome the challenges of climate change, increasing food prices and scarcity of land, water and energy, it is essential for the food system to be improved.
Of management relate to Oxfam the most?
The open system model is the model of management that relates to Oxfam. This is because the organisation aims towards expansion and adaptation. Oxfam also shows signs of growth, operating in 98 countries worldwide. Oxfam as a company over the years has shown that they are able to adapt and also work towards keeping competitive position towards the overall system, and they do this by the many functions and charity events they host each year. Oxfam uses a human relations model which works towards human commitments. Oxfam value the people that work for them, and it's very important that their human resources trainings are conducted correctly.
Recommendations. Oxfam can start to use the rational goal model to achieve its goals. Oxfam as a company can try and fight for free trade to be abolished, which will eventually enable poor countries to change or use other revenue